Have you ever been told, it's just neuropathy? The nerves are damaged. You'll have to live with it? When I hear that, my heart sinks because I'm Dr. Christina Serrati. And after years of studying microcirculation and nerve physiology, I can tell you something most people are never told, in many seniors. The nerves are not dead, they are starving. There's a massive difference. Let me explain this in a way that makes sense. Imagine you have a beautiful houseplant sitting near a window. One week you forget to water it. The leaves droop. The color fades. It looks lifeless. Someone walks in and says, that plant is dead. But is it? No, it's dehydrated, the structure is still there. The roots are still there. It's simply desperate for nourishment. Your nerves work the same way. Inside your feet and hands are tiny sensory fibers. I want you to picture them like delicate strands of Christmas lights. When they're powered properly, they glow. They send signals to your brain: warm floor, cold tile, tight shoe, soft carpet. But here's what powers them: blood, not just any blood, oxygen-rich, nutrient-loaded blood delivered through microscopic vessels called the vasa nervorum. These vessels are thinner than a human hair. They wrap around your nerves like tiny irrigation tubes. Now here's what happens after 60. Those microscopic vessels begin to narrow, not dramatically. Not like a heart attack, silently, gradually, like a garden hose that's been stepped on. The water doesn't stop instantly, it just slows to a trickle. When that happens in your feet, the nerves don't receive enough oxygen. Without oxygen, they cannot produce energy. Without energy, they switch into survival mode. This is when you feel burning at night, tingling like pins and needles, electric shock sensations, numbness in your toes, that walking on cotton feeling. Most doctors are trained to treat the symptom, not the starving tissue. So they prescribe medications that dampen nerve signaling, but numbing a nerve is not the same as nourishing a nerve. That's like covering your smoke detector with tape because it's beeping instead of putting out the fire. In 2026 vascular research, what we are increasingly seeing is this: many aging nerves are structurally present, they are metabolically suppressed, meaning they are alive, but underpowered, just like a phone in low battery mode. The screen dims. Performance slows. It may shut down temporarily, but plug it into a charger? It wakes up. Your nerves are waiting for circulation to return, and in this series, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that, safely, intelligently, and in a way that works with your doctor, not against them, because this is not about fighting your medical team. It's about understanding your microvascular health, the tiny highways most people ignore. Your symptoms are not random, they are signals, and in the next part, I'm going to show you what is quietly clogging those microscopic vessels in almost every senior kitchen. This next part may shock you. Now that you understand your nerves are starving, not dead, we need to ask the most important question: what is blocking the blood? Because blood does not just slow down on its own, something is interfering with the flow. Over the years, as I've reviewed nutritional data and vascular aging research, I've noticed a disturbing pattern. Many seniors believe they are eating heart-healthy foods, yet their microcirculation continues to decline. Why? Because of what I call the vascular villain, and it's sitting in your kitchen right now. I'm talking about industrial seed oils: soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil. These oils are in nearly every processed food marketed to seniors: crackers, salad dressings, margarine, meal replacement shakes, even low-fat spreads. Here's the problem: these oils are extracted under extreme heat and pressure. That process makes them unstable. Once inside your body, which is warm and oxygen-rich, they oxidize easily. Oxidation is simply internal rust. Now imagine your blood vessels as smooth water slides in a park. Blood should glide through them effortlessly, but when oxidized oils circulate repeatedly, they create inflammation along the vessel lining. The once smooth surface becomes sticky. Sticky surfaces cause traffic. Red blood cells begin clumping slightly. Flow slows. And remember, the vessels feeding your nerves are thinner than a strand of hair. Even mild stickiness can reduce delivery. This is why your feet may feel cold even in a warm room. It's not always temperature. It's circulation. But there's a second layer to this problem. When high heat processed foods combine sugars and damaged fats, they form compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Think of AGEs as crust. If you've ever looked inside an old metal pipe and seen mineral buildup shrinking the opening, that's what AGEs do inside tiny vessels. Over years, the opening narrows, not enough to trigger emergency alarms, but enough to Starve the nerves slowly. This is why neuropathy can develop. Even in people without diabetes. It's not just sugar. It's vascular friction, and here's the painful irony. Many foods labeled cholesterol friendly or heart smart are loaded with these oils. So seniors trying to protect their health are unknowingly feeding the very mechanism that reduces microcirculation. Let me be very clear to this is not about fear. It's about awareness, because once you remove the vascular villain, the body has a chance to recover flow. You cannot water a garden with syrup and expect flowers to grow. In the next part, I'm going to show you the opposite of vascular glue. I'll introduce you to something your body used to produce effortlessly, but makes far less of after 60. And when you restore it, those tiny vessels can open again. Now that we've removed the vascular villain, we need to talk about something powerful, something your body was designed to make, something that literally tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. It's called nitric oxide, and after the age of 60, most people are running dangerously low on it. Let me explain why this matters. Inside the lining of your blood vessels is a thin, delicate layer called the endothelium. Think of it as the control center of circulation. When it releases nitric oxide, your vessels gently expand. When nitric oxide is low, vessels stay tight. Narrow vessels mean restricted flow. Restricted flow means starving nerves. When you were 20, your nitric oxide production was strong. You could eat a meal, go for a walk, and your vessels would respond instantly, expanding, adjusting, delivering oxygen efficiently. But aging changes that. Inflammation, oxidative stress, medications, even antibacterial mouthwash can reduce nitric oxide production. Yes, even mouthwash. Many antiseptic mouthwashes kill the beneficial bacteria in your mouth that help convert certain vegetables into nitric oxide. Without those bacteria, the chain reaction weakens. So how do we restore it? We use food strategically. Certain vegetables are naturally rich in nitrates, compounds your body converts into nitric oxide. The most powerful include arugula, spinach, beets, celery, romaine lettuce. These are not just healthy greens. They are biochemical activators. When you eat a generous serving of arugula or beets, your body begins converting natural nitrates into nitric oxide within hours. That nitric oxide signals your tiny vessels, including the vasa nervorum, to open. In vascular imaging studies, nitrate-rich meals have shown measurable improvements in peripheral blood flow in as little as 3 hours. 3 hours. For someone whose feet have felt cold for years, that can feel life-changing. But there's something important here. Nitric oxide is fragile. It is easily destroyed by oxidative stress. Which brings us back to removing oxidized oils. You cannot pour glue into your vessels all day and expect nitric oxide to override it. The system must be cleaned and supported simultaneously. When nitric oxide levels rise, vessels relax. When vessels relax, oxygen delivery improves. When oxygen delivery improves, nerves shift out of survival mode. This is not about miracle cures. It's about restoring physiology now. Opening vessels is the first step, but what about repairing the nerves themselves? Because once blood arrives again, we need to rebuild the damaged insulation and internal machinery. In the next part, I'm going to show you the 2 nutrients I consider a true nerve repair kit, and one specific form that most people completely overlook. Now that we've reopened the pipes with nitric oxide support, we have to address something equally important. Opening blood flow is step 1. Repairing nerve tissue is step 2. Because here's the truth: if a nerve has been undernourished for years, it doesn't just need oxygen. It needs rebuilding material. Think of a nerve like an electrical wire. Inside, there's the conducting core. Around it, there's insulation called the myelin sheath. When circulation is poor for long periods, both the core and the insulation begin to weaken. This is when you feel burning, stabbing sensations, sudden shocks, loss of balance. So what actually helps repair that damage? There are 2 nutrients I consistently see supported in microvascular and neuropathy research. The first is alpha-lipoic acid. Alpha-lipoic acid is a powerful antioxidant. But I don't like using vague terms like antioxidant. Let me explain what that really means. Earlier, we talked about internal rust, oxidative stress damaging tiny vessels and nerve tissue. Alpha-lipoic acid acts like a rust neutralizer. It helps reduce oxidative damage inside the nerve cell itself. It also supports mitochondrial function, and mitochondria are the energy factories of your cells. Remember, nerves shut down when energy production drops. Alpha-lipoic acid helps restore that energy. production, but here's the second nutrient that most people misunderstand. Vitamin B1. Specifically, a fat-soluble form called benfotiamine, regular vitamin B1, thiamine, is water-soluble. That means much of it passes through your body quickly. It has limited ability to penetrate nerve tissue deeply. Benfotiamine is different, because it's fat-soluble. It crosses cell membranes more efficiently, including the protective fatty layer around nerves. Think of it this way. Regular B1 is like pouring water over a brick. While the benfotiamine is like having the key to walk inside the building. It supports glucose metabolism inside nerve cells and reduces the formation of those damaging agents we discussed earlier. In other words, it helps prevent further internal crusting while supporting repair from within. Now, let me be very responsible here. These nutrients are not replacements for prescribed medications. They are supportive tools, and they should always be discussed with your physician, especially if you're on blood sugar or cardiovascular medications. But when used correctly, and when circulation has already been improved through nitric oxide support, they create a powerful synergy. Of blood delivers oxygen, oxygen restores energy, nutrients rebuild structure. This is how nerves gradually wake up, not overnight, but steadily. In the next part, I'm going to show you something that costs nothing, requires no supplements, yet may be one of the most powerful vascular repair triggers available after 60. Timing asterisk. Now I want to show you something incredibly powerful. It doesn't come in a bottle. It isn't sold in pharmacies, and yet it may be one of the most overlooked vascular repair tools available to seniors. It's called a metabolic cleaning window. Let me explain. From the moment you eat your first bite of food, your body switches into processing mode. Insulin rises. Digestion begins. Energy is directed toward breaking down carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. That's normal, but here's the problem I see constantly. Many seniors eat from early morning until late at night. A snack at 7 a.m., lunch at noon, something sweet at 3 p.m., dinner at 6 p.m., then maybe crackers or fruit at 9 p.m. That means your body is in constant processing mode for 14 to 16 hours a day. When does it repair? Because repair only happens when digestion quiets down. There is a natural biological process called autophagy. Autophagy is your internal cleanup crew. Think of it as a nighttime street sweeper. It removes damaged proteins, clears cellular debris, and helps restore vessel lining integrity. But autophagy is suppressed when insulin is constantly elevated. In simple terms, if you're always eating, your body never switches into cleaning mode. This matters tremendously for microvascular health. Remember those tiny vessels feeding your nerves? They are delicate. They accumulate damage slowly over time. They need maintenance. By creating a 12 to 14 hour overnight break from food, you give your body permission to repair. For example, finish dinner at 6 p.m. Do not eat again until 8 a.m. During that overnight period, insulin falls. Repair pathways activate. Oxidative stress reduces. Vessel elasticity improves. Studies on time-restricted eating show improvements in endothelial function, meaning vessels respond better and expand more efficiently, and we already know expanded vessels mean improved blood delivery to nerves. Now let me clarify something important. This is not extreme fasting, this is not skipping meals irresponsibly, this is simply creating a consistent overnight window. And if you are diabetic, on insulin, or managing blood sugar conditions, you must speak with your physician before adjusting meal timing. Safety always comes first, but for many seniors, simply removing late-night snacking dramatically improves circulation markers within weeks. Why? Because the body finally gets time to do what it was designed to do, repair. When you combine removal of vascular villains, nitric oxide supporting foods, targeted nerve nutrients, and a nightly repair window, you create an environment of flow instead of famine. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Dr. Serrati? I'm 72. I've had neuropathy for years. Is it too late for me? In the next part, I'm going to answer that directly, because what I'm about to explain about aging blood vessels may completely change how you see your future. This is the question I hear most often. Dr. Serrati? I'm 68. I'm 74. I've had this burning for 12 years. Isn't the damage permanent? I want to answer you clearly. No, not necessarily. Let me explain why. For decades, we believed that once small vessels deteriorated, that was the end of the story. Aging meant decline. Period. But vascular research over the past several years has revealed something hopeful: your body retains the ability to build new microvessels. Well into advanced age, this process is called angiogenesis. It simply means building new blood roads. Think about that for a moment. If an old highway becomes congested, your body can construct side streets. It doesn't happen instantly, but it happens when the internal environment supports it. Angiogenesis is triggered by improved circulation, reduced inflammation, and proper nutrient signaling. When oxygen delivery improves, even slightly, growth factors are activated. These growth factors signal the formation of new capillaries, even in individuals in their 70s and 80s. Now, does that mean every case reverses fully? No, I will never promise unrealistic outcomes, but I will say this. Age does not automatically eliminate repair potential. What often eliminates repair is a continued hostile environment. If vessels remain inflamed, clogged, oxidized, and metabolically overwhelmed, the body focuses on survival, not rebuilding. But when you remove the stressors and provide the signals for flow, something changes. Let me walk you through the realistic timeline I've observed in circulation-focused protocols. Stage 1, days 1 to 14. This is the quiet phase. You remove oxidized oils. You increase nitrate-rich vegetables. You create a nightly repair window. You may notice subtle changes: slightly less nighttime burning, fewer sudden electric jolts. That's inflammation decreasing. Stage 2, days 15 to 45. This is what I call the warming phase. Improved nitric oxide production begins, enhancing vessel dilation more consistently. Some people notice their feet feel warmer at night. Warmer means blood is reaching the surface again. That is a strong sign of improved microcirculation. Stage 3, around day 90 and beyond. Nerves regenerate slowly, approximately 1 mm per day under ideal conditions. By the third month, structural repair may begin showing up as improved sensation or balance. Not dramatic overnight miracles, but measurable improvements. I've seen seniors who believed they were too far gone regain confidence walking in the dark. That matters. Now here's something critical. Patience is not passive, patience is active consistency. You didn't develop neuropathy in 2 weeks. You cannot expect reversal in 2 weeks, but the body is remarkably responsive when given the opportunity. And in the next part, I'm going to show you how to bring this conversation into your doctor's office confidently, without conflict, without rebellion, and without stopping any prescribed treatment, because partnership is power. Now I want to address something very important. Many seniors hesitate to explore circulation-based strategies because they're worried about what their doctor will say. I understand that. You respect your physician. You don't want to seem difficult. You don't want to appear like you're self-diagnosing. But let me reframe this for you. You are not challenging your doctor, you are becoming an informed partner. There is a big difference. First, let me say this clearly: never stop prescribed medications without medical supervision, even if you begin improving. Any adjustments must be guided by your physician. Blood pressure, blood sugar, and nerve medications affect multiple systems. Changes must be monitored. Now that we've established that, here's how you approach the conversation constructively. Instead of saying, "I saw online that this reverses neuropathy," say this: "I've been learning about microvascular health and how circulation affects nerve function. I'd like to support my small vessel health alongside my current treatment plan." Notice the language. You are not rejecting treatment, you are supporting physiology. Doctors understand the term microvascular health. It signals that you are thinking about root mechanisms, not just symptom suppression. You can ask, would it be appropriate for me to focus on nitrate-rich vegetables to support nitric oxide production? Should we evaluate my B1 status? What's your opinion on benfotiamine for nerve metabolism? When you ask specific, measured questions, it changes the tone of the visit. Most physicians appreciate engaged patients, especially when the goal is improving circulation and metabolic health. Remember, doctors are extremely busy. They often have limited appointment time. Many are focused on preventing emergencies, heart attacks, strokes, severe complications. Microcirculation doesn't always get detailed discussion unless the patient brings it up. You are not being confrontational, you are being proactive. Another helpful phrase is, "I'd like to combine medical management with lifestyle strategies that support endothelial function." Endothelial function refers to how well your blood vessel lining responds When you use precise terms, you elevate the conversation. Now, will every doctor be enthusiastic immediately? Not always, but most will not object to eating more vegetables, improving meal timing, or monitoring nutrient status. Responsibly, this approach builds trust instead of tension, because the goal is not rebellion, the goal is integration, medication when necessary, nutrition, and circulation support alongside it. That is intelligent medicine. In the final part, I'm going to bring everything together and give you one simple action you can take today that begins shifting your internal environment immediately. We've covered a lot together, and I want to bring this back to something simple. Your nerves are not enemies, they are messengers. Burning, tingling, numbness, these are signals that something upstream needs attention. Most often, that something is circulation at the microscopic level, not dramatic blockage, not catastrophe, but chronic underdelivery. Think back to the plant analogy. You don't yell at the plant, you don't medicate the leaves, you water the roots. So, here's your first step today, not next week. I want you to walk into your kitchen and read the labels on your oils and packaged foods. If you see soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, set them aside. You don't need to panic, you don't need to throw everything away in anger, just remove the constant drip of vascular glue. That single step reduces oxidative stress immediately. Next, add something powerful. Tomorrow, include a generous serving of nitrate-rich greens. Arugula is my favorite because it's one of the most concentrated sources. A simple salad with olive oil and lemon is enough. You are not dieting, you are signaling, you are telling your blood vessels, it's safe to open. Then, create your overnight repair window. Finish dinner earlier and allow your body time to clean and restore. These are not extreme measures, they are physiological corrections. And remember the timeline we discussed: week 1 to 2, calming inflammation. Weeks 3 to 6, warming and improved flow. Around month 3, potential sensory improvements. Healing is rarely dramatic, but it is often progressive, and here's what I want you to hold on to. Your body is not broken beyond hope simply because you are older. Aging changes physiology, yes, but biology remains responsive. You are not too far gone. You are undersupplied, and when supply improves, systems respond. Choose flow over fear, choose understanding over resignation. You deserve to feel steady when you walk. You deserve to sleep without burning pain. You deserve circulation that supports your independence. I'm Dr. Christina Serrati, and my mission is to give you the tools to support your body intelligently, safely, and confidently. If this helped you see neuropathy differently, continue learning. Stay curious. Stay proactive, because circulation is not just about comfort. It is about quality of life.